I would say nothing you've done has been wrong. You've only done as best as you could. Shouldn't blame yourself or feel guilty about anything.
Yeah. I wish you could have seen your dad before he passed away.
What do you mean?
I wish I could have got you to the hospital before he passed away.
Why do you like, why do you wish that so badly?
So you could say goodbye to him.
I guess personally I never really felt like, that never was really never really came to mind of a thing that maybe I'd wanted to do.
Okay.
So if you feel like guilty about that, you shouldn't, because I never really even thought about that. Sometimes life just isn't fair.
Yeah, but
And sometimes, you know, people don't always win and triumph.
yeah.
And I guess, yeah, it's odd because I could never have pictured that my life will turn out this way.
Nor did I, but
This isn't anything like I would have expected.
yeah.
Keep going. Imagine this is like your 10 minutes where you can say anything.
Well, I guess I would hope that you were in peace and happy.
I guess about that, I don't know if it's peace. I don't know if you could say it's peace, but at least you wouldn't be feeling so much pain all the time.
Yeah.
At least you wouldn't have to be feeling torture of losing people and hurting people and being alone and, all kinds of horrible things.
Yeah.
At least you wouldn't have to feel that anymore. It's really upsetting how a lot of things, like, can predetermine how your life turns out.
Yeah.
Like, just your upbringing and the way you've lived doesn't give you choices about how you react to things and how you behave.
Yes, lovely.
because otherwise I could have had a lot of healthy relationships. But that wasn't really possible for me. Otherwise, I might not have had to go through so much pain and heartbreak.
Yeah.
And people misinterpreting things, or, people thinking I'm crazy, or I don't
Mm.
like to be perceived as this crazy person because that's not who I am. It just feels like
Yeah.
things get out of control.
Yeah.
It hurts when you feel like people don't know how much you mean to them, or they mean to you, or whatever.
Yeah.
There must be more things you would want to say.
Uh,
I feel like I was failed by doctors.
definitely would.
Like, I feel like if someone had listened to me or helped me when I was like 19 or 20, I wouldn't be in this
Yes.
place.
Yes.
So I feel like doctors really failed me.
Yeah.
And I blame that on the government, and I blame that on psychiatry. I blame that on people, not in being individual enough, not
Yeah.
treating each person as a human being with complex, personalized needs. And you go into these hospitals, 90% of the staff are so impersonal, they don't care, and they treat people the wrong way.
Mm.
I will say there's been very few people I felt like I've loved in life.
Yeah.
And there's been very few people who I felt like have actually cared about me. I would say those three people are probably Alex, Joey, and Fraser.
Oh,
And I know it seems I'm like crazily, intensely obsessed with them, but it's because like I guess at the moment it feels so scary, and it's like I feel so in this like vacuum, and it's like I can't comprehend how it got to this. So it feels like we're
yeah.
still best friends, and I just really, like it feels like I still really care about him because it feels like we're still. I'm like, how this is still reality. How is it this now?
Hmm.
Because I didn't get to choose any. I didn't choose any of my behavior. You know.
Yeah.
Come up with more things while I get some water.
I'll try, but
Imagine like it was like your last time speaking to me or saying something to me.
I know.
Yesterday,
Mm.
like, I was like bawling in tears. Yeah, like I was like crying really like loads. I was crying loads. Yeah. The nurse walked in. She just said, You're like late for your medication. I'll put it down as a refusal to be taken." And she didn't even say anything while I was like crying, like streaming in tears.
Mm. But did she give you medication then?
Yeah, she gave me the medication and she just walked off. I'll just say, it might seem some people might be like, oh yeah, you could like, why don't you, keep on fighting, or like, why don't you hold on longer or something? Because you don't know the pain of you don't know the pain of having to try and rebuild yourself every time and keep losing people and the terror of it. Keep having to be like, this, I don't know. You care less and less with each time you have to rebuild. all of your personality just gets sapped out.
Definitely.
At the end of things, you're just this person who just wants to do anything they can to avoid pain and suffering. You're no longer really, a person who enjoys things.
Hmm.
I think it's probably really important for parents to ask their children about their feelings a lot more,
Yeah.
especially when they're like little,
Hmm.
because then they can learn to understand them. Doesn't get so extreme then if you learn it from a young age.
Yeah.
But it's also important because if you're in a situation where you're forced to agree, otherwise something bad happens, that's not an honest answer. And I feel like that's the case with me. People might have asked me how I'm feeling, but I would only ever say good because you're scared.
Yeah.
I'll say if there's maybe like two things I'd wanted to do more, probably
Hmm.
probably just go to more countries and see more of the world. Maybe learn more languages, and the other would probably just be read more books. I wrote a whole section of how I felt like my, you know, dependency, my codependency began. Do you want to like read? Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, sure.
I wrote that like my attachment problem started with my father. Until the age of 16, when he died, I largely felt like an extension of him. He determined everything in my life. I would never have dreamt of deviating from his opinions and philosophies, because that would mean my very existence would feel threatened. I would be scolded and humiliated in the most cruel ways imaginable. I did whatever I
Hmm.
could to retain some kind of security and safety in his unpredictable, terrifying behavior and his conditional love. I felt worthless even then, and he actively contributed to that. He would constantly reinforce how our family was different from everyone else. I could consider nobody close. I should feel isolated. No one would understand me except for him. Everyone would stab us in the back if they had the opportunity. A lack of opportunity to determine my I had a lack of opportunity to determine my own personality and interests. Wasn't able to choose the way I looked. Meant that I felt constantly ugly and outcast. Therefore, the only sense of worth I had was behaving in accordance with his values and feeling a sense of superiority to others through his praise and his values. once he died, it meant that there was no one there to make decisions for me, and there was no security. And I lost this sense of righteousness because his opinions meant nothing now that he was dead. How this would also be the start of the start of my urgent desperation for the validation and approval of others. This codependency would only escalate later, as later experiences would confirm my perceptions of myself. It meant that, like, that was the archetype of all relationships for me, where one person, where I was made to feel worthless without someone else's validation and approval, and that's what I looked for in any relationship. That's what I looked for in my relationships that I made in college. I tried to find the coolest people who I thought were the coolest people, and like get approval from them. And then once I got approval for them, I started to feel good about myself. And then I was just starting to feel good enough about myself to sort of not need the approval of others. But then that all got taken away. And then that's why I dove into the relationship with Fraser so fast, because I felt like if I could get someone else's approval again, maybe I'll be able to feel good about myself again. But that didn't work. And that's why I guess I need other people so badly, because I guess I feel terrified of making decisions for myself, and I feel like a monster. And I feel like I need other people to tell me I'm not a monster, for me to feel safe enough to feel like to come out, you know. Did you understand it? That?
Yeah.
How did it feel hearing it?
Just extremely sad, but
Do you have any opinions on it?
no, like I said, it's just extremely sad, isn't it? But just the way it's happened and gone and unravelled.
That's why my favorite author is Dostoevsky,
Mm.
because he captures cruel, the cruel tragedy of life, and he doesn't sugarcoat anything. In his novels, things often get worse and worse for people. But he believes in the Savior through Christ.
Mm.
I can't tell you how sick, how absolutely nauseating and vile it is to have my experience.
Yeah.
It's incredibly cruel. One of the cruelest things, perhaps, because it just twists everyone that you care about into someone that you cannot be around. Imagine that. Imagine having every single person that meant anything to you, and all of a sudden you can't stand their presence. It wouldn't make life worth living, would it? And then you can be like, oh yeah, no, you can find new people. But why would you want to do that? First of all, you'll just you want to just accept the loss of everybody you ever meet, and second of all, it just keeps happening. And I understand it's a symptom of trauma, but underneath that, it's too much. Horrible.
Hmm?
I said just horrible.
Yeah.
I guess if there was one thing I would want to be in life, it would be something creative. Like I would have loved to have been a writer, or like maybe I used to say I would have liked to make movies, but I guess I would have just wanted to express things so other people could experience things I
Yeah.
felt. I guess maybe that's because all creative people feel lonely. Like they all have this need or desire for approval and validation. That's why they want to share what they've made.
Hmm.
I guess, yeah, I don't know. It's a bit upsetting because I did forget the conversation on Wednesday, so I don't know what was said. Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you, but it's just my hand gets tired.
You don't have to hold it by your face. It's okay. It's you know what life is for me.
Mm.
It's like poison and terror. Everything is horrible. Everything is complete pain. Like the worst kind of pain you could possibly imagine. You know, just personalized pain. You know that you can't stand, which means you can't breathe and you can't take a step out of bed unless you can find security in somebody. When you can find somebody, that's the only thing which makes it like the slightest bit bearable.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Anytime I do find security in somebody, then it gets snatched from me immediately.
Mm.
So the only thing which makes life kind of bearable is not possible anymore for me.